Hi, we're Lee and Brendan. Welcome to our podcast this week, the second part with Shayne Hood. And I really enjoyed listening to him and talking about how we really should have the young people's voice embedded into everything that we do, and not just tokenistic, but actually practically what that looks like.
Yeah, that's great. And I loved where Shayne shared about we're not like the teachers or the experts as the youth workers, that young people are our teachers and that we're going to learn together, not just like, let me show you. So I found that like amazing. Like that was really good insight.
Yes.
So enjoy tonight
Yeah.
as we go with part 2 of the Shayne Hood interview, and hope you enjoy it.
We're not the teachers, we're learning together, and that's one of the big things, that we're always learning together with young people, and really their voice should be embedded into everything that we do. But it all started in that spot in Broady, and I think I wouldn't be the youth worker I am if it wasn't for learning from those young people from Broadmeadows.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that, because you talked about that, in the previous, I suppose, question about, pulling out, the young people have got so much to offer, but we just pull it out. Someone needs to say, actually, you do have skills, you do have knowledge, you have talent. Our previous interview with Jen Owens talked about that as well, about young people being superheroes, because they've had so much experience, conflict and challenges and stuff, that they've got a whole bag, kit of tools that they've got, but no one's like pulled them out. Really.
That's it.
So that's what.
That's it.
That's part of what we want, in designing our coaching, model. To do that with them, because that's the only work.
Great.
The one that's inspiring us. Just hearing that story.
And I think what Brendan you're saying in terms of Shayne, how much it changed you and inspired you, but it was the young people, it was them, and you've got your own lived experience that's pretty amazing in itself, that's inspired you to do the work that you do for these kids, and to change it around for them to be right at the center. That just excites me, because it's everything that Dylan and Erin and others care leaders that we're speaking to are saying, that they wish they were right there doing it, because if it's their program, it's not just another worker, it's not another thing I've got to go to, another thing I've got to go to. They've turned up because it's theirs. Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important, and how we're not the teachers, we're learning together, and that's one of the big things, that we're always learning together with young people, and really their voice should be embedded into everything that we do. And it's not, sometimes people look at it as, that just is a good thing to say because it's just nice to involve young people. Like, I hate that. It's so tokenistic when you say it that way. I mean, how do we really do it in a way that's meaningful? And personally, I still haven't worked that out. We ran this course in Broadmeadows, and it was still, we learnt the whole way, learning, young people teaching us that's not the way, this is the way. I come from that lived experience background, so that actually was cool, but it also this, I wouldn't say it's a chip on my shoulder, but I kind of had this thing that I've lived it, so I know how to work with all these young people, but that's not, but I hadn't done a lot of the work myself in my life, and I kind of was messing up in my own life outside of all of that. That's why I say they taught me a lot, because, even as a youth worker, I still, at the start, was still getting it together.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really done the work, but everyone was listening to me because I was able to build relationships with young people. But I felt like a fraud at times, because I was kind of going out and, partying on weekends and going and doing all crazy stuff, or you know, and it wasn't until doing the work yourself you kind of go, actually, it's not about you, Shayne.
Yeah.
You know, and you saving the day and knowing everything. It's about them, and how important their voice is in this space, and how we're actually learning and building intrinsic motivation in people, rather than extrinsically trying to motivate them.
So good.